Synchrorotors, flying boxes, and F1 cars are just some of the new releases that dawned into the simulation world last week. Hi there folks, my name is NovaWrap, and welcome to the NovaWrap, your one-stop location for all your simulation release news and goings-on from the week that was. So welcome to Sunday the 2nd of June 2024 for another action-packed episode, and we're going to jump straight into it this week with the release from the team over at Microsoft and indie builds of their latest in the Microsoft Flight Simulator Local Legend series with the release of Local Legend 16, the short SC7 Skyvan. Now, this particular aircraft is an absolute favourite of mine. I have a strong personal connection with the box the Learjet came in because of various, as I said, various personal many family members have actually flown this aircraft. I have flown in the back of one, and it's just, quite frankly, it is an aeroplane that just looks weird. And I love weird and wonderful. So the Shorts S7, it's the smaller baby cousin of the Shorts 360, and is basically a STOL transport aircraft that has found a home in the private world, not so popular in the military and government world, but very much a popular one in the private sector, and has found a new lease on life, not only as a cargo transport, but also as a parachute and a skydiving platform. So this iconic aircraft comes to us from the team over at AnyBuilds and released via the Microsoft Flight Simulator Marketplace, and gives us a highly detailed rendition of the aircraft with its performance, as well as a variety of custom internal loadouts. So again, like the team over at AnyBuilds usually do pretty good work, and overall this one looks not too bad once again, so we shall have to see how it goes. I'm curious about the sound set though, because the engines on these are interesting to hear in real life. But anyway, if you wanted to pick this one up, you can pick this one up from the InSim Marketplace for $15 US, or your original equivalent, available now from the InSim Marketplace. Continuing on with aircraft releases now for Microsoft Flight Simulator, the team over at Flight Sim Studio, in partnership with Aerosoft, have released their latest in their E-Jets line with the release of the E-Jets 190-195 freighter. So for those who don't know the E-Jets line from Embraer, essentially it's a sort of a competitor to the, or sort of designed to replace the Canadair Regional Jet series and be a main competitor for it, and it found quite a lot of success over the last few years by offering a more economical performance, and have got a wide range of aircraft designs, and taken on board the Airbus philosophy of having a single cockpit, single cockpit spread across many different aircraft types. So the E175 and also E170 and the E190 series are probably the two most prominent, and one that is honestly was less well known, and definitely less well known for me. I vaguely knew of it, but I did a bit more digging, of course, for this article, was the freighter version of the E190 and the 195. So this uses a twin-podded engine configuration, but still offers a smaller, lighter, and faster, more efficient way of ferrying transport. And if you don't need something as big as one of the more normal transport aircraft, sort of freighter aircraft like a 747 freighter or a 737 freighter, then this aircraft is probably one that you see in more regional airports. So this comes to us as I said, this is it is a standalone aircraft, but it's also an expansion of an expansion. So as I said, this is the third in the E-Jet series from Flight Sim Studio, and I won't go too much into it with the terms of like what it supports. High quality 3D model, custom avionics, all the usual fun stuff that we see with aircraft releases, particularly from a developer as good as Flight Sim Studio. The thing that I find kind of cool about this one though is that you can choose to either, if you only want the freighter variant, then you can pick this one up and just as a standalone aircraft, so great for that one. But if you already own the E170 and the E190 packages, you actually get this as a free extra bonus. So I like how they're actually doing it as a package deal. So if you are someone who enjoys flying the Embraers and the E-Jet series, and quite frankly, I haven't flown them myself in Microsoft Flight Simulator. I did fly, I think, the one I want to say it was the 170 back in the old FSX days, and I've flown down the back end of several 170s and 145s back in the day. Then this might be, you might already have those two passenger variants already and in your collection, and if you do, you can actually get this add-on for free, so kind of cool. But if you're more into flying cargo instead of people, then you may want to just pick this one up by itself, and if you do, you can pick this one up for $25 or your original equivalent, available now from Airsoft. Moving into scenery releases for Microsoft Flight Simulator now, we've got a free update from Microsoft this week with the release of European Cities 2. So this is the latest of their city update here. So this is City Updates 8, which is City Update 7, and the second of the European Cities ones. This one focuses on, it doesn't really focus on any one place, which is kind of unusual for the sort of scenery releases and city updates that we see from Microsoft. Instead, this gives us a broad range of cities from across the European continent. So you get Stockholm in Sweden, you get Nice in France, you get Monaco, you get Porto in Portugal, and you get Barcelona and Madrid in Spain. So quite a few different places for you to go and explore. Now, with the city updates, as they usually do, includes updated photoreal imagery, updated photogrammetry cities, updated POIs, as well as new custom DTED data to train elevation. So if you're looking at exploring and doing explore low and slow, like I do enjoy too, then this may definitely be, well, actually, you know what? It's for everybody because it's free. And again, this is one of the things that blows my mind about the team over at Microsoft and Asobo is the fact that, here we are 4 years later and we have had so much content provided to us for free. So I am excited to see what the future holds for 2024. But I'm going to take a stab in the dark and say this is probably one of the last updates that we're going to receive for Microsoft Flight Simulator as it is at the moment, given that, we are probably anticipating a release of the next version of the sim coming up in probably within the next sort of 2 to 4 months. So we shall see how that goes. But anyway, if you wanted to pick this one up, you can pick this one up for free, available from the InSim marketplace. You do have to technically buy it, but you're buying it for $0. So there you go. Go and grab it for yourself now. Available now from the InSim marketplace. Rounding out the Microsoft Flight Simulator release news this week, the team over at Fly2 Simulations, in partnership with Inibels, released their latest airport with the release of Savannah Hilton Head International Airport, which is a dual-use civilian military airport in South Carolina. So services a wide number of facilities from both domestic services as well as international services, and is actually part of the the customs facilities at this airport are part of the foreign trade zone. Comes with updated information with all airport buildings modelled as it appears at the end of 2023, with custom ground textures provided throughout, as well as accurately modelled positioned airport lighting and various other features, including this one overall. Looking at the images that I've seen here, it's got the main terminal, has got the interior modelled and done in looks pretty good actually, if I'm honest, as well as providing a number of different features outside the airport perimeter. If you wanted to pick this one up and add this one to your collection, you can pick this one up for $20 or your original equivalent, available now over at Anybills. Moving out of Microsoft Flight Simulator now and moving into the world of X-Planes for a couple of releases this week. The first one being from PAE Add-ons with a release of their rendition of the Beechcraft Bonanza G36. So this is for those who fly Microsoft Flight Simulator would know this aircraft very, very well because we have it in that sim. But this is a single-engined GA aircraft, sort of a tourer slash sort of executive transport aircraft. This one it comes with a couple of different models, including featuring the optional wing tip tanks, as well as a accurate 3D model, as well as accurate external 3D model, and in the internal model as well. Essentially, for those who don't know, by the way, the reason why it is the G36, originally the Bonanza was the A36. The G stands for Garmin G1000 because it is a standard avionics suite in the G36 is you get a base Garmin G1000 there. So this is a version rendition of the Continental IO 550B version of the aircraft. Includes full fully rendered or realized avionics, including the support of the X-Plane G1000 with custom PFD, custom startup sequences, functioning circuit breakers. I have mixed feelings about working circuit breakers in flight simulator aircraft. I really do. Anyway, moving on. Highly detailed liveries, custom sounds, PBR materials, VR compatible, animated doors, and other features of the aircraft, as well as support for performance charts and a number of liveries and matched to performance numbers. If you want to pick this one up and add this one to your collection, you can pick this one up for normally $30 currently on a launch special of $20 or your original equivalent, available now from xplane.org. And the other release for X-Plane this week saw the release from the team over at STMA with the release of their, so this is technically a reboot. So this is a re-release technically, and I don't normally cover re-releases, but this one I do want to cover. So this comes to us from STMA, and this is their K1200 K-Max for X-Plane 12. So previously they have done this helicopter for X-Plane 10 and 11. They did a reasonably good job of it, and they've brought it back to life in X-Plane 12. However, this time they have basically redone the aircraft from the ground up. Although it's still from the same developer, they have started from scratch. This is a completely updated model with a completely brand new cockpit, with a full update and a new suite of avionics in the system, as well as offering a number of external options, including a firefighting Bambi bucket and also a tanker version of the helicopter. So it makes full use of X-Plane 12's new sling load modeling, as well as so they don't have to do anything sort of weird and wonderful outside of the sim. So it's good to see not only the sims improving and offering greater flexibility to developers, but also developers making use of such things that developers give them. So that's always great to see. Now, if you're wanting to pick this one up, you can add this one to your collection for $30 or your original equivalent, available now from xplane.org. Moving from the skies and down to the roads now, the team over at Codemasters have released their latest in their F1 series with F1 24. And boy, is the community divided about this one. Okay, so I'll be straight up and honest and say I haven't played an F1 game since before 3D graphics were a thing. So I can't really speak to this one at the moment. The usual lines come from Codemasters and EA, and quite honestly, I'm looking at the feature summary and stuff like that. I'm going, I swear they've just copy pasted this from the one from 2023. Was it 2023 last one? 2022? Whichever one it was. And it literally tells me sweet FA. And I'm like, okay. Reading user commentary, though, is far more insightful, which basically says that this is a nerfed version of 2023 . And that is disturbing. And they've taken a lot of the features that were standard as part of F1 23 and put them behind a paywall. And that is absolutely unconscionable for me. So even though I don't play these games, and quite honestly, it could be the greatest game ever, but if you're reducing the features that are available to you in a sequel game but still leaving those features in, but putting them behind a paywall, I'm sorry, that is exploitative and that is not okay. Unfortunately, that is probably going to be something to EA, and that's a problem. And unfortunately, we as a community, the only way we can vote is voting with our wallets. So if you are going to buy it, it's entirely up to you, but I would strongly suggest that you consider not buying it, or if you have, hopefully you got less than a couple of hours of playtime and you can refund it on Steam. So anyway, if you are wanting to pick this one up, you can pick this one up, the base edition for $70 and the Champions edition, which basically gives you, I think it seems to give you basically an extra couple of icons and a bunch of in-game currency to spend in their community. So realistically, you don't need it. And again, really don't like the way they're marketing this. You can pick that up for $90. So don't, is what I'm going to say. Anyway, if you do, available on Steam, or if you're on console, available on console, available now. And rounding out the NovaWrap for this week, the team over at SES Software have released their latest truck for Euro Truck Simulator 2 with the release of Renault Trucks E-Tech T. Now, this is an interesting truck. Now, I first heard about this technology I want to say about 5 years ago or so now, but I'm looking into this one. This looks like this is the actual first sort of production version or pre-production version of an electric-powered truck, which both makes sense and also doesn't for me in real life. And it's been interesting looking at this one. So this one's been developed in partnership with Renault. So it actually has true to life performance, accurate modeling of all the things. But it's really interesting is that they've highlighted that, and I'll quote this exactly from their release information, that please be aware that for now, as our in-game world of Euro Truck Simulator 2 faces similar difficulties as the real one, we do not have a built electric vehicle charging infrastructure in the game. Due to this, we have decided to bring this electric vehicle into the game only as an option in predefined deliveries known as quick jobs. So that is something, an interesting concept, and this is probably not the video to talk about electric vehicles and stuff like that, is that, yeah, they've basically gone, you know what, this is a great piece of tech, great thing to show off, but due to real world limitations, they are doing some some limitations in the sim as well. And I think that that's a great way to actually sort of, in some ways, it actually increases the immersion. Like, I do really enjoy it. I don't have Euro Truck Simulator 2. I do have American Truck Simulator, and I absolutely do love it sometimes, of just kicking back and just driving for hundreds of kilometers, just through the American countryside. So it is kind of interesting how they're actually, increasing your immersion in the simulated world by actually, acknowledging that the real life truck has this issue as well, and its limitations based on that, and they're implementing the same implementations in the game. So kind of cool. So well done, SES, for that one. Really way to go. And that is a free release. So not only is available, not new truck for Euro Truck Simulator 2 players, it is also free, available now from Steam. And with that, folks, that does now round out the NovaWrap for this week. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, as always, to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed these videos and want to see more. And of course, as always, you can catch up with me and all the things I'm up to between videos by finding me on Facebook and on Twitter and on Twitch. Just search NovaWing24. Alright, folks, thanks very much for watching. Take care, safe skies to all, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.